Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
Terrence Crawford was asked the question that every fighter encounters at some point during a live interview that quickly became viral. How would you fare against Floyd Mayweather during his prime? But did not blink. He leaned forward, grinned, and dropped the bomb. Floyd had been simpler to stop than Daryl Spence. Within hours, every boxing podcast, Twitter account, and sports network were debating the same point. Has Crawford officially entered GOAT territory? Because after defeating Canelo Alvarez, becoming a 3-division undisputed world champion, and going undefeated in 42 fights, the man's confidence is not misplaced. It is earned. And what's amazing is that he might not be wrong.
Yo, yeah, so if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh, shit, okay, I'm just asking. Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight, though.
Man, me versus anybody. I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
Floyd Mayweather built his empire on defense, precision, and timing. Crawford, on the other hand, has established a reputation on danger, destruction, and dominance. He doesn't merely defeat opponents, he eliminates them. From Sean Porter to Errol Spence to Canelo Alvarez, every fighter who has faced but has left humbled. So Crawford's assertion that he'd stop Floyd easier than Spence was a reflection of his approach to the sport. Floyd tried to preserve his legacy. Crawford fights to expand his. And this is what distinguishes them. Floyd was the epitome of strategy. Every fight was calculated. Right opponent, right timing, and ideal conditions. You may call it smart business. For years, however, fans and professionals have referred to it differently. Cherry-picking.
This is the situation, guys. No one has ever been a 4-division champion in boxing. Not a real one. Oh, Pacquiao won 8 and Oscar De La Hoya won 11 and this one won 15. No, I'm talking about Ring Magazine champ or lineal champ. You are the champion of that division.
Get them all.
Forever, the record was 3 by Henry Armstrong. Manny Pacquiao was the first dude to really win 4. Floyd gets credit for 4 for beating Canelo, but that wasn't at the junior middleweight limit. I don't count that. I don't count that. Terrence Crawford just joined Manny Pacquiao as the only legit 4-division champion in the history of boxing. And he did it by jumping middle. He came lightweight, junior welter, then he won a belt at junior middle, not the whole championship, and then skipped middle to fight Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed, for the Ring Magazine super middleweight championship of the world, and left no doubts, including with Canelo, who was all class after the fight but knew what had just happened.
Even Max Kellerman once claimed Floyd's resume is extensive yet selective. Crawford's is shorter, but it's pure.
It's wild, because if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. That makes a difference to people.
And that is the crux of this dispute. Floyd had complete control over the ring, his opponents, and the timing of each battle. Crawford, meanwhile, seems unconcerned with control. He cares about conquest.
Who you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better. Bigger, he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too, though. You can't knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, it's like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Check out how he tracked down Errol Spence. For years, everyone predicted that the bout would never take place because of boxing politics. Crawford did not wait for a perfect payday or deal. He summoned Spence, accepted the bout, and decimated him round by round. Then came Canelo Alvarez, to categories higher. Everyone felt it was suicide but was too small. So, what happened? He walked through Canelo's power, neutralized his size, and dominated for 12 consecutive rounds.
Your reaction to Terrence, what he did, that's another crazy thing, right?
No, that's not crazy. No, I say it's not crazy because I predicted. I said Canelo was going to get old in the ring that night. No disrespect to Crawford. He did a good. Crawford could have stopped him. He could have. You know, me being a coach and watching how the fight was going on, he could have stopped him. And I know he's saying it in his mind, but he was being humble of Canelo. He was being humble, and it was a great fight, and it was good talk for the boxing world. And that's what it's all about, to entertain, to get us something to look at. We've been entertained like this for years, for centuries, of gladiators and stuff, going in the ring, representing their fans.
That is not cherry picking. That's stepping into a fire only to show you can't burn. This is when things get hot. Many old school boxing fans, including those who grew up during Floyd's reign, are struggling to cope with this new reality. Crawford is not only defeating fighters, he is changing the notion of greatness in real time.
And I'm gonna get a lot of too, but honestly, there could be the way where you put Crawford over Mayweather. Because of going up, you didn't see Mayweather go up from 147 to 168. That's crazy, bro. And not even, and honestly, I thought Crawford was gonna have more of a hard time because he had a hard time with Madronov. So imagine going up to it. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, but I don't want to take nothing away from Mayweather. Mayweather is the greatest of all time. But I think that was a really big risk that Crawford took, and then he ended up winning. You know what I mean? So you have to give credit to that too. I mean, that's a big risk. That'd be like me going up and fighting Usyk right now, heavyweight.
I know that's been kind of hinted.
I'm not thinking of that right now. I'm not thinking of that right now. No, but that's kind of like how that'd be. You know what I mean? So you have to, bro. That's a lot of. He has a lot of balls to do that, and not only to go do that to show the world that he's really like that.
Shane Mosley, Andre Ward, and Calvin Ford have all admitted it. Crawford is unique. He isn't unbeaten because he avoided danger. He is unbeaten because he encourages it.
They were saying that if he beats Canelo, it could put him as even the greatest of all time. What does that put him in the all-time list, man?
At least top 10.
At least
top 10 or top 15.
Yeah.
Easily, you know? There's guys that we may not know of or heard of, like Henry Armstrong. Simultaneously, he was 3 divisions carrying all 3 weight divisions at the same time.
Which performance was better? I don't like to compare them, but Crawford or Mayweather's over Canelo. Like it's just different.
It's just different styles, different looks, you know? But the punching, the output that he was giving Canelo definitely gave him the win.
That's why he wasn't just bragging about how much easier it would be to stop Floyd than Spence. It was data.
I saw you before the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT. Greatest of all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches. Not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists, you know, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terrence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
Floyd was an excellent defensive player, but Crawford can do anything. Orthodox, southpaw fighters can counter, pressure, control distance, and adjust mid-fight better than anybody else. Floyd dominated through discipline. Crawford dominates through adaptation. But this is where things get even more fascinating. Following that viral interview, a number of professionals joined the discourse. Some defended Floyd, claiming that no one could ever match his intelligence and ring management, and that both athletes were the best of their ages. But others, including Floyd's erstwhile competitors, supported Bud.
Where does he rank now, all time? Ending this interview.
Number 1, and the only one that he got at top is Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford's this generation guy. You know what I'm saying? Accomplishing all the goals that he accomplished.
Matched up? How do they match up, Floyd and Terrence?
Hey, I'm like this, man. It's going to be great because Floyd, he's about his work. He put in work. We've been watching it for decades. You know what I'm saying? Him coming out of retirement to do this fight. that's a win for the whole world boxing. Every generation from Floyd generation to this generation to get to see the come. That's just like we never get to see Michael Jordan play, right? But we remember when he used to play. Come on. So
let's get real. What is left for Crawford to do? He is united 135, 147, and now 168. He's climbed through weight classes like it's nothing, easily defeating larger, stronger opponents. And every time people think he's reached his limit, he proves them wrong again. That is what distinguishes fighters from legends when greatness becomes predictable.
Would you consider going back down to 154 and face Jaron Ennis, the guy who prepared Canelo Alvarez for this fight?
No. I ain't going down 154.
But here's the deal. Crawford isn't concerned about being compared to Floyd. He has said that before. He is not after Mayweather's money or fame. He seeks something purer, respect.
But I know how you is. You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, was, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever, keep it real, bud. Keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
But you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd, nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll be this. Never. That's some hating type shit to me.
Like plotting.
I ain't never been that type of person ever.
And he's earning it by doing what Floyd never did. Taking on the most difficult fights whenever and wherever he can. This is why Bud is so popular in the boxing world right now. He represents the polar opposite of the influencer era. Crawford fights killers, while everyone else fights YouTubers and does crossover exhibitions. That is why many people say Bud's legacy has already surpassed Floyd's because Floyd worked hard to establish his brand. Crawford fights to make his mark in history books.
And everything you said about fighting not being there spiritually, mentally, you think that might have affected Canelo, or that was just a skill difference was too wide?
You know, I do think he was a little mentally tired. He's been at that level for a long time. Right. So 11 fights in 4 years. That's a lot.
Timing was perfect for Crawford.
Yeah.
He said it himself at the press conference. He said timing was everything. Perfect timing, everything.
That's right.
His whole career was on timing.
He was mentally tired, but you got to give Crawford credit, man. To keep your mind that mentally fresh and sharp and go out there and perform like that, that's a win itself. Mm-hmm. Not even just beating your opponent. For your mind to be that fresh, come fight that. It's a reason.
One guards his record, the other protects the sport, and you can sense the tension rising. Floyd has yet to respond directly to Bud's "I'd stop him easier than Spence" comment, but insiders say he's furious because, no matter how large Floyd's money account grows, he's seeing his old throne disintegrate, and Crawford is sitting on top of it.
And everything you said about fighting not being there spiritually, mentally, you think that might have affected Canelo, or that was just a skill difference was too wide?
You know, I do think he was a little mentally tired. He's been at that level for a long time. Right. So 11 fights in 4 years. That's a lot.
Timing was perfect for Crawford.
Yeah.
He said it himself at the press conference. He said timing was everything. Perfect timing, everything.
That's right.
His whole career was on timing.
He was mentally tired, but you got to give Crawford credit, man. To keep your mind that mentally fresh and sharp and go out there and perform like that, that's a win itself. Mm-hmm. Not even just beating your opponent. For your mind to be that fresh, come fight that. It's a reason.
That's why Floyd has started appearing in more interviews recently, discussing his fight with Mike Tyson and criticizing Crawford's accomplishments. He recently stated, "Canelo's not what people think he is," which many interpreted as a subtle attempt to minimize Crawford's victory.
You could take a guy like Canelo, this guy could do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
but that is vintage Mayweather. When he senses the spotlight slipping away, he begins shadowboxing with the next generation. The truth is that Floyd ruled an age where timing and marketing were more important than risk. Crawford is leading an era in which risk defines excellence. It's a beautiful contrast. Money versus legacy.
Crazy that everybody keep asking me, why you not coming back to fight? Why you not coming back to fight? So I look at the fight game, I said, okay. I said, fighters fighting, they make 3 million, 4 million, 6 million, 7 million. Some may make 10 or 20 million. But I'm doing exhibitions and I'm making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight and get a guaranteed 35 million when I'm doing exhibitions and getting 100 million?
Now, let's get to the next important question. What comes next for Crawford? Because after tearing down divisions and humiliating legends, fans are questioning who's left. One name keeps resonating throughout the gyms and podcasts. Sharon Boots in this Boots is young, unbeaten, explosive, and hungry. The type of fighter that makes people think of a young Crawford. Promoters such as Eddie Hearn have already dubbed him the next town 4-pound king, and fans are clamoring for it.
Terence is only going to fight Boots if there's loads of money on the line, because he knows how good Ennis is, and he's not going to fight anymore unless it's for a lot of money. So we have to do what we say. We have to prove the quality of Ennis, and he has to earn his shot against Crawford. But that is the fight that I look at in 9 to 12 months' time, 3 fights down the line. And I think US fight fans are going to be crying out for that fight. Like, you imagine if we beat Lima on Saturday, we beat Ortiz, we beat Fundora or Mertzalayev or Zayas. Everyone will be calling for Ennis v. Crawford.
I think a lot of fans are crying for that now.
They have been for years.
Yeah.
But the reality is we still need to, it's not, I think everyone who, like I said, everybody that knows boxing.
Yeah, boxing fans.
One that knows how good Ennis is go, what a fight. That is unbelievable. But still, you got to educate people that Ennis is as good as I say he is. Right? And you do that by beating the champion. So we've got work to do.
Imagine it. Crawford versus Ennis. Experience versus energy, IQ versus young. It's the best way to end the torch fight. However, Crawford's camp has been clear. They aren't rushing into anything, but deserve to rest after years of mountain climbing. His trainer, Bomek, stated it best. He's reached the stage where he can choose the conflicts he wants, not the ones that others push on him. Still, if that fight takes place, it has the potential to define a generation, because the only guy capable of pushing Crawford to his limits may be the fighter who grew up observing him. But here's where the plot takes another turn. While Crawford's name is going down in history, the rest of boxing's elite appears to be more concerned with fame than fighting. Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. Floyd versus Mike Tyson. Exhibition after demonstration. Meanwhile, but is carrying the torch for legitimate boxing. He's the one who keeps the sport grounded, demonstrating to the world that legacy still matters, that greatness is achieved in the ring, not through a streaming deal. That's why the Floyd-Crawford dispute feels wider than just two names. It's a conflict between eras. Businessman versus warrior. Crawford does not strive after celebrity. He avoids chasing viral moments. He doesn't mind if his opponent's trash talking. He advocates for workmanship and the authenticity of the sport. This is what makes him timeless. This is what makes him dangerous. Because while everyone else is chasing headlines, Crawford is quietly pursuing history. The scary aspect is that he's not finished yet.
I came up here, I'm kind of nervous to be talking in front of the public, but I'm gonna be short. But I just want to speak about something that I feel like Bud kind of taught me, and I feel as though it's gonna take me farther in life, and I feel like for the next generation and the kids that's coming up behind us to understand. It's one word that I've been thinking about when I wanted to speak about Bud. It's integrity. I feel like integrity is a strong word, and I feel like it's bigger than money, it's bigger than fame, and I feel like Bud Crawford taught me integrity, and it's gonna last forever. So shout out to Bud, shout out to his family. I feel like his family did a great job with him. His coaches did a great job, and everybody surrounding him and supporting him made him into this genuine, strong human being. And I appreciate him for everything that he done for me. So shout out to Bud Crawford, shout out to Omaha, Nebraska, and it's all love.
Crawford is 38 years old and yet looks sharp, swift, and hungry. He is referring to 1 or 2 more bouts, the biggest ones conceivable. Whether it's a rematch with Canelo, a middleweight challenge, or finally giving Boots Ennis an opportunity, every fight from now on will be legacy building.
The perfect weight for Boots is 160. I think he could go there now and be in his absolute prime. He'll be tight at 54 tomorrow. People think that when you move up in weight, all of a sudden it's easy. He's massive. He will 100% go to 168 at some point. So right there, you've got a 4-division championship. But I don't want him just to be a 4-division champion. I want him to be undisputed in those, because I think he's the natural progressor to Terence Crawford. I think he's of the same kind of ability as Terence Crawford. And what Crawford's done is amazing, because he was undisputed in 3 weight classes.
Yeah, you got to prove it in a ring.
Of course you have. It's very well me saying it, but you've got to prove it in a ring. But you've also, people know in boxing. So everyone's always known how good Crawford was. But it took him a long time to get the opportunities to prove it. We've got to make sure that we're not 36, 37, 38 when we're getting those opportunities. Because if Boots can get it at 29, 30, he's going to be around 34, 35. He lives a clean life. Do you know what I mean? I think this guy, I truly believe, I think he could be one of the all-time greats.
And that is the beauty of it. Floyd Mayweather may have retired undefeated, but Crawford has walked away unchallenged 3 times. So, here's my query for you. Who is actually the best? Is Floyd Mayweather or Terence Crawford in his prime? Who gets it in the ring? Defensive brilliance or adaptable destroyer? Please share your ideas in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and follow Fight Motive for more boxing content. I'll see you in the next video.